Shaun's People was created in the summer of 2016 in the city of Liverpool. Running for 11 episodes in total, the show was also broadcast in other areas of the UK, including Swansea, Cambridge, and even my hometown of Brighton. 5 years later, I'm looking to bring back Shaun's People to the city where I grew up. But let me first take you back to the beginning. So I started working for Bay TV back in November 2014. So yeah, I've been working for about a year and a half, making loads of little shows, I think like 200 shows or something in total, loads. Now Bay TV is like a local channel, so it's only like broadcasting in Merseyside, some of Wirral, some of Cheshire, some of Lancashire. But my boss has got to the point where it was like he was fed up of me being out and about on the streets and stuff, and like I think he wanted me to be inside the studio where he could keep more of an eye on me really to see what I was up to, I think, you know. So he said that I had to like come up with this show that was just studio based basically. So it took me about 2 weeks to figure out what to do with this because I knew the options would be so restricted inside a studio. And I think you can see in the first episode that, yeah, even furniture options were really limited. So, but anyway, I came up with this magazine sort of type show that I felt would kind of work. And it was kind of like I felt that it would be good for a morning show because that's the one thing the channel didn't have. It had lots of evening shows, but it never had something for the morning. So I came up with what was Good Morning Liverpool.
Good morning, Liverpool. We are here with a brand new show called Good Morning Liverpool as well. Over here is my lovely guest. I don't know if you can see them on the camera. Can you see them at all? Yeah. Hello, guests.
Hello, Shaun.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good? Enjoying the fruit?
Yeah, lovely.
Croissants, oranges, you happy? Happy guess, a good guess.
So this first episode, it was broadcast. It went out on, I think it was like a Tuesday morning, I think, or Monday, I can't remember. But yeah, literally it went out, it was broadcast. Then my boss called me in the office the next day and he said, I think it should be more of like an evening show. I was like, right, okay. I was thinking, well, I'd just like put so much work in to try and get this one going, this one episode. It's like, you know, now I'll change it all over. He goes, and if we're gonna make it, obviously you can't call it Good Morning Liverpool anymore, so you have to call it something else. It's like, right, yeah, okay. Goes, why don't you call it Shaun's People, he said. So I was like, you know, I was just in a bit of disbelief. I went, I don't have that much of an ego. And his response is something I'll always remember. His response was, well, get yourself an ego.
Good morning. Hang on, you what? There's been a change of title. Hang on guys, 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 sec. So, what's it called again? It's called what?
And after that, it was just 11 weeks of fun.
So I must say it's not good if it is the case. You know, it's a serious thing. Well done, Pirate Mobile.
Perfect. I should have carried that chest already. Also this weekend, we went to Saw. Sorry, we went to Saw. Oh my God, I'm not even breaking yet. I went to Saw. This is brilliant, isn't it? Okay. Yeah. Okay, and last week, I went down to... Ooh. Look at this, I'm disrupting the studio here, look at that, terrible, can't see where I'm going. Anyway, last week I went down to Liverpool Village and I went onto the Pride of Britain bus and take a look at this.
Do I have a favourite Bush movie? There isn't, is there? One jumps to mind. Oh, this is really embarrassing. Why is this the first thing that's coming in my mind? It's Cliff Richards. We're all going. Why is that coming to your mind? Holiday. We're working for a week or two. Was that in a bus? It wasn't a bus, was it? It was a double-decker bus. Yeah. Was it Cliff Richards driving? I think so, yeah.
On the buses was great.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Was that before your time though?
It should have been, but I was young, it should be. But again, that was repeat TV.
We're going where sun shines brightly.
We're having a debate about this now, some other day. So. Okay.
In September 2016, just as Shaun's People was growing in popularity, Bay TV was sold to another company who decided to axe all of the channel's existing shows, including Shaun's People. When a new company took over, I tried really hard to keep the show going. I even filmed episode 12, in hope that would be broadcast, but that episode wasn't even broadcast. It's a shame because it was a really fun episode in a laser tag and stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun. Even after I left the company soon after it was taken over by another company, I decided to leave. It wasn't really for me, and I tried to keep the show going. So I always knew that there was other local TV companies out there who would still broadcast the show, but I just didn't know how I was going to make the show. I always knew that Latest TV was going to be a platform that would broadcast Shaun's People, but the problem I had, because I was living up in Liverpool at the time, was how do I make a show for a Brighton channel, but I lived 200 miles away? That was always going to be what that was tricky. How can I do it? And I think like with many people, like millions of people, the events of 2020 and 2021, they literally just flipped my entire world upside down. I didn't know what I was going to do after March 2020, to be honest. I tried to rise above it all in the northwest, like in Liverpool, like Cheshire, all around that entire area. I tried to get things going, and it just wasn't happening. It was hard. It was just like I just thought, I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't get things going up here. Like, am I ever going to get things going? So at the end of 2020, I had to make a big decision. Do I stay in the northwest where nothing was happening for me, or do I come back down to the southeast where I hope things might happen for me? And one of the first places I reached out to was the Brighton platform, who gave Shaun's People a home back in the summer of 2016. So Latest TV are one of the few surviving independent local TV channels, and I don't think the people of Brighton really understand how lucky they are to have this platform and this channel. Whereas a lot of other local TV stations have now been taken over by bigger companies, I think the fact that Latest is still independent, and I think it's a very important thing to have in a city, I think. So it's the fact that Latest TV is still broadcasting and they're an independent channel still broadcast, and the fact that I've now relocated back down to the southeast, and because pretty much everyone else has had a really bad 2020 and 2021, now feels like the right time to bring Shaun's People back to the small screen again. So what would a Brighton version of Shaun's People be about? Well, obviously it's going to be about you, the people. It's a show about people. I'm just merely there to put it together. My name's just the beginning of it, but the people part is the most important part of the show. So I don't think it'd be any different to the Liverpool version at all, only it would just have like a lot less Scouse accents, that's all. Because Shaun's People was a magazine show, it would feature topics and events that were current, and interviews with local actors, producers, writers, musicians, event organisers, comedians, fashion designers, hairstylists, whoever had something to show to others.
We're launching now, we've got a swimwear coming out at the end of the month as well, so we've had amazing response from celebrities, so we are overwhelmed with it.
Liverpool as well, she's been so supportive, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think Liverpool's a good city to start somewhere with, because of the support behind you. It's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, Liverpool Pride, I mean, we're just so excited this year. I'm wearing the T-shirt from the very first year.
Yeah, was that 6 years ago?
Yeah, because this year, it feels like we've come full circle and back to the spirit of that first year. Yeah. So I think people will love this year. And we've got 2 days for the first time. So Saturday, the march. Remember, everybody is welcome on the march. Please come and join us. We've already taken more registrations for the march than we've ever had before. So this is the year to come and march with us. Stop the city in its tracks.
You've only just become a mum, haven't you?
Yeah.
Right? And didn't you find it difficult in the beginning to find places that allow breastfeeding?
Yeah, there was some places that it was really accessible. They were very open. It was very friendly to go and breastfeed, and it felt very comfortable. And then there's other places that are not so open-minded, maybe, shall we say?
What kind of things happen there when you?
Just to be made to. I'm not going to name and shame, but there's a few places where I've been made to feel quite uncomfortable.
Right.
I've left because I've been made to feel very self-conscious of doing something that's obviously completely natural.
We have launched a charitable organisation called Hair Heals.
Yeah.
And Hair Heals has been launched to support those affected by hair loss of any kind.
Okay.
And we've decided to launch Hair Heals because we had been organising the Liverpool Urban Hair Show and celebrating hair and colourful hair. And we figured we were leaving out people who did not have hair. And so the one way to reach to people who do not have hair and kind of raise awareness as well on the effects of hair loss was to launch a charitable organisation, which is Hair Heals.
And you're here today because you're telling us about stuff you've got coming up in the autumn, haven't you? So
yeah, it's just, this is all I do basically. Is curly blows constantly, all the time, and work they come in all the time getting curly blows done. I do hair and makeup as well, so I have lots of package deals on for that, which is £40 for the full face makeup, strip eyelashes and a curly blow or hair up.
So why do you think people like curly blows for?
It's just a scout thing, isn't it?
Is it a scout thing, is it? Okay.
I think it is, because I've had people who've
You didn't give me a curly blow.
No, we needed a wig.
No.
Yeah. So I used to work at Granada and I was a TV producer. I produced a series producer of Loose Women.
Nice.
Did a series of that. And lots of the different sorts of programmes, as well as news, arts and music programmes as well. And I'm the writer of the play.
Right.
So now I write. So I've written Shake It Up Baby, the play.
So that was the people of Liverpool. But what about the people of Brighton? What kind of people are Shaun's people? You know, at this stage, it'd be really good to hear from anyone who has something to plug or promote. You can be a performer, you can be an organiser, anyone who's just got something to show the other people of Brighton. I'm also interested in hearing from people that would prefer to stay behind the camera, who want to help out behind the scenes, because I'm not sure if this is going to be a studio-based show, if it's going to be a show that's going to be done somewhere else. I have no idea. It's just at the moment, everything is open right now. So while you ponder everything you've heard in part 1, come back after the break for part 2 to find out more about the show you may soon be a part of. Welcome back to Shaun's People with a question mark. Before the break, you learned a little bit about the history of Shaun's People and what a second series of Shaun's People is looking for from the people of Brighton. You know, at this stage, it'd be really good to hear from anyone who has something to plug or promote. You can be a performer, you can be an organiser, anyone who's just got something to show the other people of Brighton. I'm also interested in hearing from people that would prefer to stay behind the camera, who want to help out behind the scenes, because I'm not sure if this is going to be a studio-based show, if it's going to be a show that's going to be done somewhere else. I have no idea. It's just at the moment, everything is open right now.
Help, I need somebody. Help, not just anybody. Help, we know I need someone.
Yeah, music was always going to be a big part of Shaun's People. I mean, I'm a musician myself, but I always love what music can bring to the visual medium as well.
But every now and then I feel so insecure. I know that I just need to like I've never done before. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help?
You know, Liverpool has a massive music scene, and I'm sure that Brighton does as well, and it wasn't always just a case of bringing in the musicians or the band into the studio.
And I've lost my way. I'm drifting out to sea, and I'm drowning in an ocean of apathy, and people send light boats to rescue me, and I'd honestly be lying if I said I could care less.
And also, because Shaun's People was broadcast in Brighton in the summer of 2016, I was also contacted by someone who made a video for Transvision Vamps, Wendy James, and they asked if that video could be shown in the show.
I play a liquid guitar, I'm a stone hustler. It's the meanest game in town, I scare myself sometimes. But I feel like a million, don't you know it even yet? I got tired of whipping year after year. Show 'em how, show 'em how, show 'em how.
As well as Brighton, guests came from as far as California.
We are here with Hayley Hasselhoff, all the way from California. Why are you over here for? What's going on?
I'm here for the Curve Fashion Festival, of course. It's on September 10th at the Exhibition Centre in Liverpool, which we are pretty much outside of right now.
It's a lovely day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
You've
amazing.
had a day of interviews, haven't you? So
I've had a full day of interviews.
It's the last one. It's
The last one, yes.
And the one thing I remember about interviewing Hayley Hasselhoff is I was actually asked not to ask any questions about her dad. So, but you know, as always, I try to push my luck a little bit.
Do you ever get asked, is there going to be like a red swimwear range in this like lineup of clothing?
A red swimwear range?
You know, just because it associates to something. I don't know what it associates to. But, you know,
Definitely
like,
not.
No.
No.
You're both from Hollyoaks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it wrong? What?
I don't want to get anything wrong here.
Yeah, I had no idea who these actors were. I had no idea. I don't even watch soap operas.
No, it's just like, okay, we've got Richard and Cassius from Hollyoaks, right? You're here on the Pride of Britain bus.
Yes.
What is your connection to Pride of Britain at the moment? Why are you here today then? I don't.
Ladies
Turn straight to me.
Ladies first.
Well, I think it. Am I looking to camera or looking to you?
Either one.
I look to both.
I think it helps sometimes to have like no interest in celebrity or celebrities. You know, it's like that kind of helped when I came to interview Michael Owen.
What can you tell us about Pride of Britain then? What do you know about it?
Well, I know plenty, I think. 2013, I was actually on the judging panel,
right.
which was a good and a bad experience in many ways, because trying to pick a winner out of so many great contestants was pretty stressful. So it wasn't easy. It's pretty emotional doing it as well, watching all the ones, all the different clips and narrowing it down to a small number. So that was a great experience. Find it hard to watch the programme, especially when
emotional again.
Oh, it's horrible,
okay?
Isn't it? Yeah,
right.
But great sense of pride as well, because as it says in the title, it's there's some amazing people out there that are unsung a lot of the time.
Yeah, the response to that interview was really interesting because I'm not a fan of football, right? So after I'd done the interview and it's broadcast on television and stuff, I had so many people coming up to me saying, "Oh, you were so lucky to interview Michael Owen." I was like, "What?" Apparently it's a big deal. I didn't realise that. On that day, I thought Craig Phillips was the bigger name.
So we're going to have a little quickie quiz here, right? Okay, so we have any buzzers, right? So we have a little noises. So do you want to start with your noise? You put up your hand and make your noise. What are you going to make?
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, that's a good one. Woo!
Woo, okay. Uh-oh. Right, so let's go with our quickie quiz. First question is, right, name 3 foods which are proven aphrodisiacs.
So before we start thinking, I concocted some random sex quiz. The theme of this quiz was because that James guy, one of the guests, he was actually talking about sexual health. So yeah, it wasn't from having a dirty mind or anything like that. All right.
Max.
Chocolate, oysters, and
come on, Max. Oh, broccoli.
No.
No.
I can't think.
Can you think of anything?
There must be something. You chocolate.
Go on.
Alcohol.
No,
I'm not buying that.
So no one's won that round. There's like 19. There's quite a few. You could have like whipped cream. You could have honey, bananas, coffee. Coffee's an aphrodisiac. Yeah, these are all proven ones apparently.
Proven.
Right.
So you don't have any better answers than me.
So basically, we're giving away tickets for the Odeon Liverpool one. Well, he's from the Odeon Liverpool one. 3 pairs of tickets for the Shallows, which comes out. We're not doing the golf. Is the golf one, isn't it?
Yeah, golf.
Okay.
So I couldn't not mention working with Top Joe. I'd worked with this character on previous shows I'd made for Bay TV, and it was just a fun time working with him. And it's like the time he came on Shaun's People, and he literally just unexpectedly, completely stole the competition.
The question is, The Shallows is about a shark attack, right?
Wow.
By a great white, but which is the 1975 film that Steven Spielberg... You got the answer? Send the answer to the email addresses on the screen now.
Send it in.
We'll send it in. So send the answer. Top Joe's giving you the answers. Perfect.
Yeah, I've won.
Brilliant.
Guys.
Joe, you were going to
Where's the
cinema with
tickets?
Joe. That's fantastic. That is awesome.
Where's the tickets?
They're here, Joe.
Cheers.
You enjoy yourself, mate.
All right, cheers.
And then he came back again the following week to complain.
Yeah, Shaun, I didn't want to alarm you, but I don't want to create any tension between whoever sold you these tickets, but these are invalid tickets. These are fake actually.
The fake
fakes.
tickets?
Don't work, Claire. So.
So what happened then?
Basically, I went to 5 different audience, and they're not showing Jaws at all. I tried getting in, they wouldn't let me.
But it was for the Shallows, though.
Sorry?
It was for the Shallows. It was a different film.
Shallows.
Shallows. Have you heard of the Shallows?
Shallow Hal.
It wasn't all fun and games on Shaun's people. No, actually, it was. Yeah, it was all fun and games.
Don't panic.
You're 1 minute, with no panicking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It starts from now. Go. Right.
Yeah, lovely.
Go. That's good. Good collection. Very fantastic.
And.
Oh my God.
This is intense. This really is.
And go.
Have we not gone yet?
So this insight into Shaun's people is coming to an end. No, like I said before, this was 11 weeks of fun. I had so much fun making this, and the people involved in it had so much fun as well. I mean, they'd always want to come back and they'd be looking forward to making the episode, and I just really hope that I can bring the show back and give that same enjoyment to people again, because it's really important to me that people do enjoy what they're doing and enjoy the time they spend on the show. And as said throughout, the aim is to now revive Shaun's people, but this time in Brighton, in your town, with you and for you, the people. I wouldn't be able to make Shaun's people in Brighton without the people of Brighton. I'm not even sure what kind of response I'm going to get from this. You know, it may mean that I have to kind of even reformat the show into another type of show. I just have no idea. I mean, I just don't know. So I just wanted to put the word out there to find out who's out there, what's out there. But I do believe that if it's meant to happen, then it will happen. So I guess I just have to leave it up to fate and the people of Brighton to decide that. What's the worst that could happen?
So that was the infamous clip from Top Joe where he ruined that competition. And actually last week I caught up with Top Joe at the launch of the comedy. Sake. Okay. All right. Okay, and that was the. No, sorry guys. That was the infamous. No, it wasn't. Okay, I'm lost now. Can I stop a minute? Okay, look at my notes. All right. Okay. Sadly, that's all we've got time for this week. That was the 10th episode, but come back next week for another episode. Playing us out is the Live Tones. Can I do that again? Yeah. Sadly, that's all we've got time for this week, but we'll be back next week for another. Sake, shoot me! Someone should put me out of my misery. That is all for this week, but we'll be back next week with one more episode. No, because it's off.